What's going on is real. Coming out of I.S.U.P.K, North Carolina tonight. Got about a good hour. Uh, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. Don't have a lot of time, but we're gonna go ahead and rock it out. Glad to have y'all up in here with us. We're gonna go straight to Jeremiah 23 and 24. Today, in these last days, we can't hide. Ain't no hiding no more. We got to be real with ourselves. We got to be real with what we're doing. We got to be real with what we choose to do. In these last days, ain't no more, you know, drug dealing is out the window. Robbing got to go out the window. The devil, the white man taking everything over. He already did the big pharmaceutical companies. He done robbed the earth to no end. We got to come back to the Lord. Ain't no more hiding. Ain't no more in the dark secrets and things like that. We got to be real with ourselves and do what we need to do to serve the Most High. Come back to the Lord so that way we can get up out of this place. So we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 24. It says, "Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord." The Lord see everything. The Lord see everything. When you reading back here in Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter, the 24th verse, ain't no hiding. Ain't no hiding. The Lord see everything. And that's what we got to clean up. We got to clean up what we doing and have integrity again. We got to have some dignity and integrity in this place. Ain't no secrets and hiding and trying to do things behind you. You hiding from your leaders, your real leaders, and you need to do exactly what you need to do, whether people see you or they don't see you, because the Lord is the one that sees everything. Okay, verse 25. "I have heard what the prophet said that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed." Ain't no hiding and thinking we can get away with any and everything, which is what Christianity and the Christian church do. They allow everything. They let everything happen. They allow any and everybody in their church. They allow any and everybody to do any and everything they want to do. And that's the problem. Ain't no rules, ain't no regulations, ain't no morals. No, they're not going by anything but this Bible and this God that we serve in this from this Bible. The Most High, we serve him. There's rules and regulations you got to go by. So in Jeremiah 23 and 24, "Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him?" No, the Lord gonna see. That's why when you take these rules and these words of the Lord, you gotta live by them. You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you gotta live by these rules, live by the regulations, and there ain't no hiding. So when you go home and you by yourself or you go to your job, say you go to your job, you learn in the truth not to eat pork. You learn in the truth that can't celebrate Christmas and holidays. So you come to class, you learn in the I.S.U.P.K the truth. You learn about God. You hear the words of the Lord and you see, okay, teaching you not to eat pork. So you can't go to your job on a work day and now they having a pizza party or something like that. And then there's pork in the food. They got ham sandwiches and bacon, pork, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches and for breakfast or whatever. And you go and eat that and think just because nobody, in the school can see you, that you hide it. The Lord done seen what you doing. You go home at the end of the day and you come up in the class, come up and start changing your life, and you learning about the truth. And then you go home and you in your garage or in your car and you start getting high again or smoking a weed again or whatever. And you think just because nobody can see you that you hide it. No, the Lord see everything. And the Lord gonna count and you're going to have to pay for those things. Okay. So when we read Jeremiah 23 and 24, can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith the Lord? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord? Because you got the angels on guard, them angels watching and making a record back to the Most High, with everything we do, whether it be good, whether it be good or it be bad. The Lord's getting a record and an account and a report on the things we do, just like you do at your job, just like you do, like we do in the truth, just like we do in here. Right now, I'm teaching the class. It's on record. Okay. Shalom, sis, y'all shema, thought Shem Yahshua. This on record. So I got to make a report for it. Then the man over me got to make a report for it. Then the man over him got to make a report for it. But when I leave here, I got to keep my integrity and continue to do the things that I'm taught. I can't front in front of a camera and act one way on the camera and then be a different way off camera. Every day in my life, I must live by the words of the Lord in this truth. Okay. So when we going and talking about what we're supposed to do, we're going to go to Matthew 7 and 13. Because there's a straight way that we're supposed to live, and we're about to read about it right now. In that straight way of living, there's a protection that come with that. When we read that Bible and we learn that we're not supposed to have sex with another man's wife, when you learn about not having sex with another man's wife, guess what? You don't lay with another man's wife. If you don't lay with another man's wife, you good. There's nothing that could come of that because you follow the law. You follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? Right, sis, walk it like we talk it. I don't just come up here and just talk. I got to live it too, because each and every one of y'all are watching. Each and every one, everybody in the world, them Christians and your family members in the world, they don't want to see you doing the things you're doing. They want to see some type of fall or crack or fault in it. You don't want to do that. You want to stand strong on what we laying down because people are watching. And you living and saying that you living and doing the word of God. You don't want to put the reputation of the school you with on the line. Don't want to embarrass yourself and embarrass the school and your name and your family. Who want to do that? We walk in a straight gate up in here. We keep it real locked in. So that way when people see us, they know the difference. They see us and know the difference. They talk about, I go to my slave now and they be talking about, they know we ain't the purple fat. Oh, excuse me, I can't say that. I'm sorry. The purple guys. Okay, we not the purple guys. We are way different than any of these fake Israelite groups out here. I.S.U.P.K is just different. Totally different. All right. So we go to Matthew 7 and 13. Christ said, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Giving an example of a man laying with another man's wife. If you lay with another man's wife, you liable to get killed. You lay with another man's wife, you liable to catch some disease because you don't know what he might have. You don't know what he putting on to her and then what she could be giving to you. But if you know that woman got a man, don't mess with that woman. Don't deal with her. That man, she go and lay with you, you laying with her, he find out and he come take your life. Now you knowing you ain't supposed to lay with that woman, and you go lay with that woman, now he come and take your life, and now you dead. Her and that man, they apart now. He going to jail. All because you couldn't, fight your lust to be with this woman. Go get your own woman. And it would trip me out is that we as a people, we don't want it being done to us, but we'll go do it to our brother. And that's what we can't do. Okay. Just like if you know, if your brother got something that you want, you you can't have what he have. There's nothing wrong with going and getting it yourself. If a brother got a car or a chain that you like, you don't got to take his chain. You don't got to rob him. It would be better if brothers got together and then that brother could show him how he can get his own chain, how he can get his own car. That's what we do up in here in the UPK anyway. If I see a brother that got a fly garment on or he got some armbands that are fly, I'm not going to try to rob him and take his armbands. I'm not going to try to take his chain. I'm going to talk to the brother and say, how did he get it? Then I'm going to do what I need to do so I can get my own. If a brother, a brother knows how to talk to women, he got game like that, he can talk, he can rap to women like that, you're not going to hate on him. We don't hate on the brother because he know how to get women. I'm going to go holler at the brother and learn how to talk to women. And it's all in brotherhood and sisterhood up in here. If there's a sister who is learning and, she want to learn how to cook and sew and, put her hands and get it out the earth. And sisters know how to do that. Put her hands to work and get it out the earth. Young sisters coming up, asking questions, learning and talking. We just building a community and an ecosystem. So when Christ said, therefore, enter ye in at the straight gate. I.S.U.P.K is a straight gate. You hear about all these other fake Israelite groups and what they're going through with the homosexuality, with the drugs, with the robbery and extortion, with the secret lascivious life they be living in there. Their camp is split up, and that ain't a straight gate. A straight gate is when you come in I.S.U.P.K and you go to the designated zone you learn from the men under that camp, that city there. You learn exactly what we need. You learn what you're supposed to do from God and what you're not supposed to do, and you do that straight. So when Christ says, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, wide, that open type stuff where you can wear what you want to wear, you can talk how you want to talk, you can move how you want to move. That ain't a straight gate. It's wide open. Christianity and the Christian church is wide open. You can be a homosexual in there. You can sleep and talk to other men's wives, and you there's child molestation in there. That's wide. You can wear whatever the hell you want. You can say whatever the hell you want. When you leave the Christian church and go home, you live in the same life you've been living. You can get high. You can rob and steal, and they'll say what? Jesus forgives you. That ain't what the Lord was talking about. A straight gate is very strict. It's bounded by rules and regulations. That straight gate, and you can do it. UPK, you can do it. It ain't difficult. Once you know what you're supposed to do that. Once you learn what not to do, don't do that, because that will lead to the destruction. Because it's wide open. There's no rules or regulations. So Christ says, and many there be which go in thereat. Verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Y'all it might be a challenge at first, but once we lock in, and you get rid of the negative things that we're not supposed to do, and you keep the good things you're supposed to do, and you learn that in the UPK, in this school, you'll be all right. But there will be few that will be in that, because it's not just about you learn the Bible and you learn what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do, and that's it. You got to do it. You got to live that and do that thing. So Christ says in verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. So he's telling you there's one way that will lead to destruction, and there's another way that leads unto life. And he's saying the one that's going to the destruction, many are going to be in there. And the one that leads unto life in the straight gate, in the narrow way, there will be few there. So what is heavy about that is that you need to go ahead and walk that narrow way, that straight way. Because nobody wants destruction from the Lord. Nobody wants any negative judgment. But but you got to do what he say to do. You have to. It's like you ain't got no choice but to. Christianity and Christians and all these other, religions and things wonder why things happen the way they happen in their life, because you're not doing what that God said to do. You're not doing what Christ laid down. Okay. Verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing. Is like they dress nice, suit and tie. They coming to you, like appearing to be nice and kind and loving and come join our church, come serve and praise God. Come, no, we are Christians. We love you. We're 100% for you. We just want salvation and love and singing and all that. And it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, suit, clean, looking nice, expensive shoes, driving a nice, expensive car. Look at that and go, man, this must be a good dude. This must be a good woman. This must be a good place to be. It's not. It ain't a good place to be. It's almost like when you watch them, TD Jakes and all those. It's a bunch of lights and a show and all of that. But when Yahushua said, but inwardly they are ravening wolves, because on the outside they appear to be like they care for you. They appear to act like they love you and that they're for you, but inside they're ready to eat you alive. They're ready to devour you like a wolf would, or a ravening wolves. All right. So when Yahushua said, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Like earlier when we're talking about men sleeping with other men's wives. That's how they'll come at you, befriending you like everything's good. This is where you're supposed to be, which would do what? Get a lot of people to come. It'll get a lot of people to want to go into that place, because look at all these people. Look at all this money. Look at all this revenue and prosperity that they have. Something good must be going on here, and it's not. They go and befriend you. Next thing you know, this false prophet, this preacher, pastor is sleeping with your woman, molesting your kids. Now you done paid him double, triple tithes. Now you're broke. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what's going on, Maya Shar? All right, shalom, don't cry. Okay, so verse 16, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Meaning, ye shall know them by their fruits. Is how do you know? Let's rewind it. You learning about Hebrew Israelites, you learning about, fringes, and you start seeing these camps, and you come across I.S.U.P.K, brothers in all black looking tough, brothers with the fringes on, with the covers, the academy jackets, the covers on. You got the You know, the studs and the mitries and the headbands and war scarves and the leather and the spikes and all that. And once you get past the yelling part, you can, listen to the words they're speaking at camp, or you come to a class and you get to ask questions. Then you start looking at the fruit. So once you start looking at the men and that are living it day by day, you're gonna know their leaders. So when you look at the fruit of the men in the I.S.U.P.K, you're gonna know the leadership, the tree that produced that fruit is good. Because if the fruit is bad, tree is bad. If the fruit is bad, the roots are bad. Where that fruit came from, the leadership must be bad too. So I look at the brothers in here, good men, honorable men, honest men, some of the most hilarious men I ever came across. Like you probably never know it off the internet or at camps, but when we get personal and sit down and eat and drink together, you find out these the coolest brothers in the world, man, coming from all walks of life. So when Yahushua said, "Ye shall know them by their fruits," do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? And the Christian the Christian pastors and the churches, you know them by their fruits. They don't make and produce good fruit. Christians, I have Christian guys at my slave, some of the most diabolical, evil dudes you could ever meet, man, who claim they're going to heaven. They're guaranteed and signed and locked in. They got a one-way ticket to Jesus and God and all that. And then he tells me his story. He's an evil dude, man. Evil dude, man. And there's a bunch of them. Okay. Verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. That's I.S.U.P.K. That's what we bringing forth, good fruit. Brothers who want to be with a woman and never throw her away. Women who want to stay with a man and have that man and only that man. Brothers who want to raise up their sons to be strong men, stronger than them. I know I do. Men in the UPK, we want to raise our sons to be better, stronger than us. Daughters, you raising up daughters, you don't want them to be no whores, want them to grow up modest, and then Lord allow they find a man that they can go and be with, and that be an honorable man, and that woman grow up and learn valuable things, and them little girls could grow up and be women and really be the Proverbs was it 31 woman that these hoes claim to be. These hoes claiming to be Proverbs 31 and all that, and they not. But the brothers in here, the good tree, the good one, bringing forth good fruit, can raise them sisters up, and they actually be what they need to be, and the brothers too. Okay. Verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, which is what we've been having for the last 100 years, is or like 70 years, is evil trees bringing forth evil fruit. And that evil tree has been Christianity, Islam, drug dealing, all this evil tree that has sprouted this bad fruit. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me, my arm itching like crazy today. I just got off the slave about an hour ago. So I came straight over to rock it out with y'all. But uh but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. And it's corrupt too. Because to say for them Christians and them evil pastors and stuff, they're telling you you don't have to do what God say. That in alone is evil. Allowing your congregation to rob the people is evil. Allowing to be over a church They're allowing the things that go on in their church, gossiping, men sleeping with a bunch of the women sleeping around on their man, robbing the church, not helping the community like that. The pastors have pimping on the street, pimping in the pulpit too. The evil that goes on behind closed doors, and them Christians don't talk about it. The molestation that happens, the drug use that happens, Christians don't talk about it, correct it, fix it, address it, nothing, because that's evil fruit there. We're going to address and fix and use the words of the Lord to fix and correct us, them, the men, the women, the children, all the way down the line. Okay. All right. So we're going to drop down to, okay, let me see, Maya Shah, what you got? Okay, let's see. First Peter 2:17. I'm gonna go there in a second, but I'm gonna get this Ephesians 4:22 real quick, and then we'll go there. All right. Let's go to Ephesians 4:22. What do you want it? First Peter, I'm gonna put a mark there. First Peter 2:17. I done lost the thing again. Bear with me. All right. We're gonna get Ephesians real fast. So Ephesians 4:22 says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. Verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Verse 24, and that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. What is important about this? What's important about this is when you come into the truth and the knowledge, you change. You change. And in that change, you don't go back. So if a Ratazar comes into the truth, I put all the old things away. I'm not going to talk about those old things with Maya Shah. I'm not going to talk about those old things with the sisters. I'm not going to talk to my camp leader or my brothers about the things I used to do, because that's not me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to talk about the things I did when I was 14, 15, 18, as a kid. I'm not going to talk about the things I did in the world. If I come into the truth, or if somebody comes into the truth at 50 years old, then they're brand new. 50 years old, you done lived a whole lifetime. But that person who was living that lifetime are gone now. They're dead and gone. That name, that person, that mindset, whatever that person was on, whatever that person was into, that person is gone. The new person is the one that takes on, and they're renewed in the spirit of their mind, putting on, and that ye put on the new man. So it's like same body, like the flesh, but it's a new creature in Christ, a new person. It's not the old man would eat pork and get high and steal or whatever. The new man don't do that. So I'm not going to talk about the things I did before I came into the truth, because that's not me. And what it also prevents is Satan trying you with those things. Because if you don't do that no more, why are you talking about it? If you used to sell drugs in the world and you sold drugs to survive or feed your family, or not, don't get it confused. I'm just saying I know people who used to do that, and they did it for their reasons. You have some drug dealers that did it just to make money and be selfish. You but there's no good reason to do it. Just don't do it. So when they stop doing it, they're not going to come and talk to me about what they used to do. They're not going to come on this live or this camera and talk about all the drugs they were selling and all whatever, because that's not who they are. So be mindful in the conversations you have with brothers and sisters, and don't talk about the old person. You don't want to be talking about some wicked shit you was doing in the world, and then some new person is coming in trying to change their life. Talk about the good stuff, man. Talk about Passover. Talk about, you know, unleavened bread, frankincense, and myrrh, the scroll. Talk about how you changed and came in and started serving the Most High, following Christ. Talk about your experiences at Passovers and high holy days, and talk about how the chariots are coming. Talk about how you was a brother all by yourself in your city, and now you done raised a whole group of brothers, and you got a school now. You know, do that, but don't. It says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. You know what I'm saying? It's a deceitful lust to want to go and talk about the things you did. Like imagine who wants to hear about a woman talking about all the whole stuff she was doing. And we don't want to hear that. That ain't you. I don't want to hear about how you was a hoe. Who the fuck want to hear? Who want to hear that? Brother, I don't want to hear about you talking about all the drugs you think you sold, or whatever, or all the hoes you was sleeping with. I don't want to hear that. Who want to hear that? Put that off. Don't talk about that, because you brand new now. All right. But let's go to let's see. First Peter. My Shaw wanted that First Peter 2:17. Okay. And he said, to say we can't speak harshly against other nations. What? Oh, okay. All right. First Peter 2:17. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. Yeah. See, so if people yeah, you're right, sis. I don't like being called by my slave name either. The people that know me from the world, they don't even call me, my old name no more, which I find, that's cool. But yeah, I don't like being called my slave name either. Unless I don't really mind it if I'm at the slave, because that's, they white, but yeah, I feel you on that. I'm with you on that. But yeah, First Peter 2:17, to say we can't speak harshly against other nations. Well, what I'm like, why do they how do they be messing this up? When it says honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. Well, if I go and read cry aloud, spare not, now what? That's not talking about not speaking harshly to the other nations. This honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. This is talking about, how can I put it in like simple terms? Meaning like, this is about having being civil, if I could make it simple, having not being an unruly animal. Like if for example, if we go out, we all the brothers go out and we go to a restaurant to go eat. Um, I'm not going to slam the door in a white man's face. You understand? I'm not going to treat a a Asian waiter or waitress like trash. You see what I'm saying? And even when you read a verse up or a verse down, it says, verse 17 says, honor all men, love the brotherhood. We know what the brotherhood is. All right. The brotherhood, me, Maya Shaw, commanding general and the generals, got our captains. You got black men in the street who aren't in the truth, but we love them. They are brothers too. We got sisters out here who ain't in the school, but we love them too. You know what I'm saying? Like honor all men isn't talk has nothing to do with how you talk to other nations. It has nothing to do with saying we can't speak harshly against the Asians or it's like I'm not going to run and go to my slave and be talking about the white man's the devil, the white man's the devil. God ain't good. You Asians going into captivity. You Africans ain't. No. When it says honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. Verse 18, servants be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. All right. Verse 19, for this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience toward God endure grief, suffering wrongfully. Verse 20, for what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with God. Like honor all men does not mean has nothing to do with how you talk to other nations. And being in this truth, being in the truth and understanding and knowing that even if you have leadership who is like I'll give y'all the perfect example story. One of the generals, and I'll let y'all find out which one, was telling a story on how he came to the school and one of the men over him at the time checked him for something he didn't even had nothing to do with. Checked him for something he just got there. He just got to the school and he getting checked out of nowhere. All he needed, he could have went off. He could have went back at him. The guy, he gets to the school, this guy's checking him for something he had nothing to do with it. One of the generals who was going through that said, he just told him, concert, it won't happen again. Even though he had nothing to do with what he was getting checked for, concert won't happen again. Moved on from it. That guy's not here no more. But that general at that time, when he went through that experience, he is still here. But that guy who was being like that, he ain't here no more. Bringing that out to say, this here about honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. This here has absolutely nothing to do with the other nations in how you talk to them. Because that's why I said earlier, if you bring up cry aloud and spare not. So we go out there and how they perceive us speaking harshly, or even if you even if you bring up though I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Let me not paraphrase. I want to get it real quick. So when you read 2 Corinthians 11:6, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. Like you might have some people that are rude in speech, but they're not stupid though. They know what they're talking about. So anybody saying that we can't speak harshly to the other nations and they use First Peter 2:17, I think I would go to say this: Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people are truly the kindest, most giving, loveliest, most beautiful people on the earth. But because of oppression, corruption, being lied to, and we are not walking in that straight gate, it's why the propaganda and the idea that Black people are just unruly animals, that's not who we are. That ain't us. So when it talks about honoring all men, you ever see Black people giving, it's like they have this natural loving and giving and caring thing to ourselves. Like the Native Indians did it. Black people do it all the time. Hispanics do it all the time. The problem is we take that spirit of caring and loving and welcoming and that thing, and we give it to the other nation. We treat white people like that. We treat the Asians like that. We treat every other nation with what we should take that and start giving it to each other. Black people in America, niggas in America should take that spirit they be given to white people and Asians and Africans and all that, give it to the Hispanics. Them Hispanic brothers and sisters who don't like Black people and think there's some type of divide between us, they should take that and give it to Black people as a whole. I'm not talking about the individual Hispanics who do love Black people or the individual Black people who do love Hispanics. I'm talking about as a nation, we got to give that to each other. So honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. That has nothing to do with how you talk, like talking to Chinese people and stuff like that. And plus we civil, you know what I mean? And then if you if you just start at the beginning of chapter 2, it says uh First Peter 2:1, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings. Verse 2, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. This is where you get milk scriptures from. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Because if you get lied to on the Bible, you're not getting the sincere milk. You're not getting the flow of the Bible, the river that flows through the Bible. You're going to get some nonsense and a lie, and then you start believing that Jesus loves everybody and that God loves you no matter what you do. And now you're not, and now you're not laying aside the malice. You're not laying aside hypocrisy and envies and evil speakings. You're going to do that. But if you lay that aside, and then as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby, you'll get the milk scriptures, you'll get the nourishment, the milk of the word. Okay. Verse 3, if so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious. Verse 4, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious. So when you're reading this, verse 5, ye also as lively stones are built up in a spiritual house, a holy priest and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Yahushua Mashiach. Like all of this is how you conduct yourself, how you deal with brothers, how you deal with sisters, how you deal with each other. And when you read the whole thing, it's talking about a chosen generation. You go into glory, forgive me, uh, uh, submitting ordinances to of man for the Lord's sake, like being righteous and not allowing Satan to mess you up and get you all up out the game. But if there ain't no more questions for this time, I only had an hour. As we passed the time. Glad to have y'all up in here rocking it out. Glad to I'm gonna holler at you, my Shaw, probably tomorrow. Uh, but glad to have y'all rocking up in here with me, man. I know it was a short time this time, but uh holler tomorrow. We got Bankayal, Officer Bankayal rocking it out. And Tuesday, you know, Cap 9 Thought is holding it down. Cap holding it down on Tuesday. Tune into that too, 7 p.m. Monday, 7 p.m. Tuesday. Wednesday, Officer Kowal's holding it down. You know, check out Command General Yohana's radio show. We got Passover April 12th, Atlanta. Please be there. Go on I.S.U.P.K.com, pay your tithes, pay that Passover fee. Hope to see y'all there. We're going to take pictures. We're going to eat unleavened bread. We're going to serve the Most High. We're going to keep them high holy days rocking and rolling. Glad to have y'all in here tonight. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. Okay, fight them demons. Win. Use brotherhood, sisterhood. Might have one demon trying to get you. Two brothers, sisters, we can fight them back. It ain't no thing. Okay. But yeah, Maya Shaw, I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow. Glad to have y'all in here, man. Stay in this truth. Hold it down. Don't leave for nothing. All right. And with that, shalom, Israel.